Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. A bit of a Friday afternoon Manchester United news and transfer news update for you. A blow around Paul Pogba. Thiago makes his mind up. A few other things as well to talk about in relation to who's training where and what that means in relation to incomings and outcomings for Manchester United. Some clues from who is training and some people are training in bubbles, which suggests that they're leaving. But I just want to say two things before I start. If you want to play our Fantasy Premier League, United Stand Fantasy Premier League, obviously that kicks off tomorrow with the Premier League coming back. The link is in the video description for you. That will take you straight through to our league. Also, I'm going to set myself a challenge in this video where you can smash a like on the video now. That would be great. But I'm going to avoid using the word of the player that we're trying to sign from Borussia Dortmund because I think there's been so much of that and there is still so much of that. He's done this deal, done that. He wants to come to the club. I'm just going to not mention him. And I just think it's a challenge that I wanted to set myself and it would be quite nice to actually talk about other things. So if I slip up, let me know. But I don't think that I will. I think I'll be okay. So let's start off with Paul Pogba. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been speaking to MUFC or the website and basically said that Paul Pogba only back in training today. Obviously, he's been in isolation with coronavirus for a couple of weeks. And he's not 100% sure that he will be fit for the game against Crystal Palace next week. Obviously, we've got Villa tomorrow. I doubt very much that he's going to be playing in that game. But a doubt that he will play in the Crystal Palace game in a week. What Ollie did say is that Paul doesn't normally need that long to get back fit. Obviously, he came back from a long injury and played nearly all the games after lockdown. But he hasn't trained and, you know, he's got to play that bit of catch-up. So Pogba for the Crystal Palace next game next week could be quite a big blow. And this is why these transfers, especially in relation to that Dortmund player, are very important because there are a few question marks about United. I know we want to talk about transfers, but every transfer means that that player goes into a Manchester United team who plays a game of football and tries to win a game of football, which means 3 points. So we can't disregard Crystal Palace. We could well be 3 points behind all of our rivals before we even kicked a ball because they're all playing this weekend apart from City. So it's very important that we start the season well. Palace will want to start the season well as well. And if we're doing it without Pogba, well, look, this is why. This is the importance of buying Donny van der Beek. This is the importance of people like Matic and Fred and McTominay and obviously Bruno Fernandes. So, look, I wouldn't rule Pogba out yet, but it is a little bit of a blow in relation to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saying he's not 100% sure he's going to be ready. That could just be tempering expectation, and we'll just have to see how the next week goes. But we do need Pogba back fit for that game because the better team we put out, the more chance we've got of winning. Do United Stand have a Fantasy Premier League? Says Johnny Wilson. Do people not listen? Links in the video description. He may have joined late, to be fair. And Cleo Sham, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Hi, Mark. If we finish 4th or 5th, but with a much better points tally, would that be a better season than last one, according to you? Sanjay, I cannot predict what a good season is going to be based off a points total when I haven't seen what we've done. We could play like Stoke City all season, in which case it wouldn't be. I'm wearing my Martial t-shirt, by the way. You can get your United Stand t-shirts. They should be below the YouTube video. They might not be. They're all available in different colours, so just click on them. If you want to get the Martial one ahead of the new season, I think he's going to have a big season. But that's not why I'm wearing it, by the way. I stand with Martial. I stand with Martial on the injustice of the FIFA 21 player ratings. Who's with me? I stand with Martial. Bruno Fernandes, 87, fine. 86 for De Gea, 86 for Pogba, fine. 85 for Rashford, Martial at most 83. He's not even in the top 100. This is a player who ran the line for Manchester United, not as a linesman, as our number 9 for most of last season in a team that didn't create anything. He scored loads of goals without penalties, and he is classed as a lesser player than Marcus Rashford, who missed quite a considerable time with injury, started the season badly, ended the season badly, scored quite a lot of penalties, and Rashford gets ranked higher than Martial. These men don't know ball. Could be women doing it, I don't know, but these FIFA 21 player ratings guys, they don't know ball. Give me a call next year, I'll give you the ratings. He should be at least 86. But you've got it wrong. And they've given. Oh, I nearly did it. I nearly fell into my own trap then. Oh, I'm good. I nearly went the name. Well, I'll tell you what. The Dortmund player that we want to sign, he has only been given 83 pace. They're clueless. They haven't got a bloody clue. But look, I like Rashford. I think we all like Rashford. And I think he's a fantastic player. But he didn't have he had an amazing 2 or 3 months last season. Apart from that, injury, loss of form. Martial was our player of the year. You can't give Martial less than Matt Rashford. I'm sorry. I think even Rashford would put his hand up and say Martial had a better season than me. Crazy. It's crazy. Hi, Mark. Will you wear the Boohoo Man Clubber if the player from Dortmund signs? You see, you're not going to catch me out. Silly sausage, and that is his name. Chase White says, personally, I think Pogba is the best player at United based on pure ability. Do you think he can prove he is of the world-class level if he plays a whole season this year? I think it's a massive season for so many players. It's a massive season for Manchester United. I mean, look, the Premier League kicks off this weekend. I'm very excited about it, but I'm not... it's a shame United aren't playing, but so many players. I think Bruno's going to have a great season. I think Martial's going to have a great season. I think when we sign the lad from Dortmund, he'll have a good season. I'm excited about Van der Beek. I think Pogba can have a great season. I think Rashford will have a better season. Greenwood's going to keep developing. So lots to be excited about. Can you give a shout out to my friend San, and then I'm not going to say the rest, Edvin. I know what you're trying to do. And welcome to John G14, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Warning. I did warn you. Rashi doesn't deserve an 85 to be fair, but Martial doesn't get an upgrade with 9 more goals than Firmino, but he gets a +1 upgrade to 87. EA has a United agenda, says Aditya. Exactly. It's not good. Maybe it's because United are on Pro Evo. They don't want to give good markings to United players. I don't know. And good job we bought Donny. This shows squad depth, says Lee Taylor. So yeah, I'm wearing my t-shirt today for Martial. I stand with Martial. You can get your t-shirts below. You can get any of our United Stand t-shirts actually. Bruno, Rashi, Greenwood. There's loads. Check them out below. But let's move on. So Pogba, potentially a doubt for the game next Saturday, according to Ollie. He's been speaking to Manchester United about that. Thiago, the Athletic are saying that Thiago has made his choice. He wants to go to Liverpool. I don't know that this is necessarily breaking news in a sense, and Liverpool fans don't even really want to believe it because they don't know whether they're going to buy him. But Thiago's preference has always been Liverpool. United have sort of operated around the edge of this. I mean, I read something today that Gary Neville had said, I don't know why we're not in for Thiago. Yes, we've got Van der Beek. Yes, we've got Pogba and Bruno, but I've seen Thiago playing in a midfield too. He can play a deeper role, breaking up the play, winning the ball back. And I think Thiago would have been good. And I think for 25 million, Thiago would be a really decent signing for United. And look, all right, you've got McTominay and you've got Fred. But to be honest with you, just sell one. If you want, you've got to be ruthless and you've got to be aggressive. If you get the opportunity to get Thiago in, to be there with Matic and, occupy that deeper role, compete with Matic, whatever, or maybe sometimes play that too, and you're going to go, well, yeah, but we've got Scotty and Freddie. Well, I'm sorry. Get rid. That's ruthless. And I think United should have gone in for Thiago as well. But then again, maybe we did and maybe he chose Liverpool. But Manchester Evening News is saying that United are not in for Thiago anyway. As soon as they got Van der Beek, that stops them looking at any midfielders. So looks like he'll be going to Liverpool and he'll be a very good signing for them. So we can put that one to bed. The only reason I mentioned that is because remember a couple of nights ago, at Malikins on Twitter saying that, expects United to sign a couple of signings and one of them could be a nice surprise. And I'm thinking, what's the nice surprise? Thiago would be a nice surprise, but if it's not him, we already know about Reguilon and Tellez news. Obviously, the lad from Dortmund we already know, so it's not a surprise. What's a nice surprise? Josh King's not a nice surprise. That's like opening a present up that's, quite firm and you think it's like a computer game and then it's like a tray of chocolates. I mean, nothing wrong with the chocolates, but the computer game's better. So, or a pair of socks, or a Lynx Africa set, when you were hoping to get Ralph Lauren polo aftershave or something like that. So, yeah, it's not a nice surprise. Marcus Ballon d'Or, Rashford should at least be a 90. What a shame, says Yazza Said. Okay, let's move on. There is other news. Smalling and Rojo apparently are training in a bubble at Carrington. Not a real bubble. They're not running around on a football pitch and then bubble things with your legs out bouncing into each other. That would be very good and very funny, but that's not happening. James Christo, no, there's no news on that, and you've spelt it wrong. But yeah, there's no. So Smalling and Rojo are training on their own in a bubble, and the reason they're doing this is because United expect to sell them. So they don't want players that are going to be sold catching COVID, I suppose, or mixing with the main squad. So Smalling, as we know, going to Roma, and I like Smalling. He's going to bring a bit of money in. I wish him all the best. Rojo could go anywhere. I don't care, as long get the £70,000 wage off the bill, and move him on. So I think that's a little bit of positivity for you. There was a story this afternoon, and I can't really source it. It's on a podcast, so I'm not gonna. And they don't give a source other than the podcast. I think it's the Beautiful Game podcast, but they've had some guests on there before, but they don't quote a guest. So I don't know what this is all about, and it feels very flaky to me, this story. But effectively what it's saying is that Jesse Lingard has been told that he's a key part of the player for next season, and that he will be staying at the club. But then it could be impacted if United sign the player from Dortmund. So it's a bit of a statement, and then it's a bit of a drop of a statement. But I've said this before. If United get rid of Mata and Pereira, let's keep Lingard. But one of those three has got to go. Mata, Pereira, Lingard, one of them's got to go. Because, as I said, we'll be talking about this next week. Squad depth is great, but does Lingard or Pereira or Mata even get on your bench anymore? And if they're not getting on your bench, they're on, Mata's 140k. Lingard's not far off 100k. Pereira's being paid money, so some would say he shouldn't be. So the Lingard thing is interesting because, I actually think out of those three, Lingard offers the most. And we're not going to move all three. So I wouldn't mind keeping Lingard. But he's probably the most valuable of the three as well. You're not going to get any money for Mata. You're not going to get much for Pereira. But I think Jesse Lingard, you could probably argue that anywhere around 20 to 30 million, he is worth that. So in some ways, Lingard's the one you want to go because you're going to get the most money back. But then in other ways, he's probably the one I would like to keep out of the three because I think he offers more. But there you go. Can't wait for Shaw to silence his haters. Looks as fit as that season under Van Gaal. We still need backup on the bench to get the best out of him, says Joe and Daniel. I think it's very sad that Luke Shaw's got to prove the haters wrong again. Let them hate. Let the haters hate. There's people who hate me out there. So let the haters hate. You can only do what you're doing. Luke Shaw has performed very well for Manchester United over the last 6 months and probably the last 2.5 years apart from injury. He's been very good. I don't think he has to prove anything. I just think some people just don't like him. So, let the haters hate, I think, on that. But, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was saying he'll be fit for the Villa game, which is great. If we don't get a centre-back and a left-back, is that going to hinder us massively? Also, some of our Deadwood are still here. To what extent would that impact us? Chikorito, Hernandez. I just feel that we need a centre-back. I think we do. But I don't think we're going to get one. Rasmus says 3 into the academy right now. And we are the academy. We're buying so many players. We've bought a striker from Manchester City. We've bought fullbacks from Spain. We've been doing this for a long, long time. But the only thing I would say about this is I don't get too excited about it. I sort of tip my hat at it and go, well done. But when are these players going to start coming through? And there should be a conveyor belt of these players coming through to the first team because we've been doing this for 3, 4, 5 years now. And the only young players that we've had come through have been players that are actually our youth. Like, Greenwood's been at the club for years. McTominay's been at the club for years. Rashford's been at the club. They're not players that we've bought in 15, 16, 17 from foreign clubs. So when are these players going to start coming through? But it's encouraging and it is exciting. And I hope that it's, I hope that we continue to do it, and I hope that it does work out well for us in relation to that, because we've certainly set our stall out in that. We do acquire a lot of younger players from clubs such as Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester City, PSG. So I would hope that some of these players are well scouted and they do quite well at the club. What happened with Pogba? A few people asking. So Pogba is back in training. He did have COVID-19. He wasn't self-isolating. He actually tested positive for COVID-19. Back in training, I think today or yesterday. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said that he is a doubt for the game against Crystal Palace next week. He can't 100% say he's going to be back. Pogba's got a good record of coming back from injury and getting fit quick. But obviously, they're going to have to wait and see how it goes. But you know what? Straight away, Donny van der Beek will be thinking, I've got a pre-season friendly against Villa tomorrow that Pogba won't be playing in. This is an opportunity for me to go in, do well. And a lot of people say that that's just a pre-season game against Villa, but the rest of the Premier League are playing football tomorrow. Villa, Man City, us, and I think Burnley aren't playing this weekend. So United playing Villa in a pre-season game, yeah, it's a pre-season game. Yeah, there'll be a lot of subs. Maybe with one team first half, one team the second half. But there'll definitely be a higher level of intensity to it. And Ollie will be definitely taking a look at those players. Next season, ideal summer window, if we have the same issues next year, would be Ndidi, Upamecano, left centre back for me. And how is Pogba same rating as Henderson, says Aditya on FIFA? I mean, look, that would be nice, but the striker situation still needs to be resolved as well. Did you hear Tim Sherwood say that we should go for defensive options instead of the Dortmund guy? He then recommended Grealish and Bale. These pundits, says Gustav. Oh, they've got to justify their existence in some ways, haven't they? I mean, look, if you're looking for a pundit, I mean, Chris Waddle says that United are going to win the league. He's the only one. I don't think we're going to win the league. I mean, I would say to you right now, I think United are going to finish fourth. That was my prediction. I think that Liverpool and Man City will be top two. No, actually, I think Liverpool, City and Chelsea will be ahead of us. So my expectation is that we'll finish fourth, but have a better season than last year, have a better points total. And that may be seen as progress, but and it probably will be progress. But it just shows you the sheer size of the challenge that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got. And I'm not tired. But the reality is, we came third last year, but it was a really bad Premier League season. We could come fourth this year and have a better season than last year. So you've got to. This is why I say points tally is very important. What did we get? About 65 points. We need to get 75 points at least. And if we get 75 points and finish fourth, I'm sorry, that's better than finishing third with 65. But some people will say, well, it's not. We've gone backwards. But we won't have gone backwards because we'll have acquired more points. So that's why I think points total is really important this year. Because you know what? We could get 80 points and finish fourth. We could be fourth with 80. City could be third with 82. Chelsea could be second with 86. And Liverpool could win the league with 90. And we'd be like, well, we finished fourth. But we're 15 points better off. And we're only 10 points off Liverpool. So you see what I mean? We'll be talking about this as the season develops and next week in sort of like preview week of us coming back into the Premier League. But that is really important. The points total is really important. How close you are to first. Because, to be honest with you, I don't really care if we finish third and we are 35 points off top position. But if we finish fourth and we're 10 points off top position, I'll take the fourth every day because you've still not won the league. So, yeah, that to me is really important. We have so much Deadwood at our club. The sooner Ollie grows a pair and gets ruthless, the better. It will be his own downfall. Well, Brian, I sort of agree with you that it will be his downfall, but I would also say that it's not about growing a pair. It's about being able to sell players. I could be manager of Manchester United and walk into Ed Woodward and everyone else and say, right, sell Lingard, Pereira, Mata, Rojo, Smalling, Jones. And then if you want some more names, I'm in my office, but you'll never get that done. So you give the 6 to go. You know they're not going to get those 6 done, but then you get a knock on the door from Ed a couple of months later. I can find a seller for Lingard, but it's not enough money. I can't find a seller for Mata because his wages are too high. I can't find a buyer, for Pereira. Nobody wants Phil Jones. Nobody wants Marcus Rojo. And Raymond wants Smalling. I've sold one of your players. And that's the problem Ollie's got. You can tell the board, these are the players I'm happy to let go. But can the board sell those players? They're on high wages and nobody really wants them. So it's not about having a pet set of balls. Because Ollie could be like you. He could say, or like me. Ollie could say, I don't care if you let them go for free. I just don't want them here anymore. But the club are going to go, ha ha ha. No, I'm not joking. Get rid of them. I don't want them here. Like get them to do something. I don't want them here. Wash your car. But seriously, the club are going to go, well, we're not going to pay them off. We're not going to let them go. We've got to get some value. So, Ollie's hands are tied on that one. I think people unfairly level it at Ollie that he won't get rid of the Deadwood. But I guarantee he would. I guarantee if Everton rang up today and said, we'll give you 10 million for Phil Jones, Ollie would drive him there. So it's not always easy to get rid of those players. Didn't the club get rid of Sanchez for free, says Stretford and Devil? Effectively. I can't remember what we did with Sanchez, actually. But, look, that was a great deal. Get rid of him. He's on 400k a week. Get rid. So we did that one yet. Pogba wants to go to Real Madrid. No, he doesn't. Apparently, Benfica are interested in Andreas Pereira. How much do you think he's worth, and would you be surprised if he goes for free? He shouldn't go for free. This is another player. Like last year, we gave Phil Jones a 5-year contract. You talk about getting rid of the Deadwood, and then you're giving someone like that a 5-year contract. That contract, that's something that people don't realise as well. If Phil Jones is on 80 grand a week, and West Ham want to buy him, and they say, well, we'll give you 8 million for Phil Jones to United, but we're only going to pay you 50 grand a week, Phil. Phil's going to go, wait a minute, so you want me to come to you, you're offering me first team football, that's great, but you want me to take a £30,000 a week pay cut, and you're only going to give me 3 years. With all due respect, I've got a signed contract here with 4 years left on it, earning 80 grand a week at Man United. So you either match that, or I'm sorry, I'm staying. And that's the problem United have inflicted on themselves with people like Phil Jones. It's not just the wages, it's the length of contract. That he's got 4 years to run on that contract. So that is an issue as well. So yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy to get rid of these players because of the mistakes we've made in recruiting and contracts. What do you reckon the result of Leeds and Liverpool will be? I think Rodrigo will score 1 and they will do bad for the rest of the season, says Jake Murphy. I think Liverpool will beat them 3-0. Fancy a future for Fosu Mensah at United. We should move him out. Also, United linked with Kante in some outlet. Thoughts, says Vinny. Well, I've spoken about the Kante thing a couple of days ago. It tends to be Italian outlets talking about it. I mean, I would welcome Kante at United, but it's not going to happen. Mark, I told you what, we aren't going to do any more transfers, says Edward Woodward. We will do, mates. We will do. And big up Rubber Nicking Gang, says Praveen. If you know, you know. And what do you think of Fosu Mensah playing at centre-back, says Isaac? I think it's square pegs in round holes, and United shouldn't be doing that. I think the sooner the better that we don't do that, because we're Manchester United. I understand that Fernandinho played there for Manchester City, but that's because they got injuries in the season when the transfer window was closed. Manchester United are playing Aston Villa tomorrow in a pre-season game. Obviously, I mentioned that a few minutes ago. They are playing Aston Villa in a pre-season game tomorrow. 2 o'clock, but it's not live. It's on MUTV, but it's not until 10 o'clock. So what I propose we do is, if people want to do it, we'll do a watch-along at 10 o'clock where we watch the game back. Because tactically, we'll know the result. I would presume the result will get leaked, but it would be nice to watch it back, get a look at Donny and all that lot. So I'm thinking a late Saturday night watch-along tomorrow night. If everyone's interested in that, 10 o'clock. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, and smash a like on the video. Yes, there is an 8 o'clock show tonight. I've got a few ideas, but you never know what's going to happen. But I've got quite an interesting show tonight at 8 o'clock, and I've got a few beers. Would at least perform better than Sanchez, and great striker and experience. Get Cavani, says Loesch. I think, hasn't Cavani gone to Benfica, or has that not actually happened? Chelsea bought another player. It's like a day of the week. We signed another player. They must be getting bored themselves. And Adam said he didn't get notifications. Oh, YouTube's a bit funny at times. It is a bit funny. And United are totally confident of signing the player from Dortmund before the Crystal Palace game, says R18. I tell you what, smash a like on the video. I said at the start of the video I would not say the name of the player from Dortmund throughout this whole video. I don't think we've done a video in about 6 months where we haven't said that name. So, look, it just shows you the discipline and focus I can have sometimes. Akash, welcome to the Members Club. Thanks to everyone who has become a member, by the way. I can see the name in the live comments, but it's not going to work because just because I can read it doesn't mean I'm going to say it. And 95% club, anyone, says John G14. I think in relation to the player from Dortmund, there's nothing new to report today. I think it stands... We had a lot of news yesterday. I would still say see what happens over the weekend. I've seen Simon Peach was retweeting an interview from Jan Argefjortoft with Michael Zorg from last September, where he was basically talking in German, but was talking about United going in for Sancho last summer. Shit! That was so not natural. I can't believe it. I can't believe I've said it. I can't believe I've let myself down at the end. I've been so disciplined, and I just slipped out. It's so hard, it slipped out. But anyway, I'll carry on, because it was quite an important bit. So Michael Zorg was talking about how Manchester United went in for the player from Dortmund last summer, and that he'd said, no, he's not for sale. I'm a bit intrigued by this, because Manchester United have been interested in the player from Dortmund for well over 18 months. He was a target last summer, the transfer window last summer. But Dortmund seems to be still putting stuff out there about we're not going to sell him. We're not going to sell him. And I've got to say this. The only reason he won't come to United is if we don't pay the fee, which is 108 million quid. And we'll have to structure it however we do. Because Dortmund are acting like Bayern Munich. They're acting like a club that doesn't need to sell, that's not a selling club. It is. That's what you are. It's what you are. It's why you got Jude Bellingham. But Jude Bellingham would not sign for Dortmund knowing that Dortmund are going to develop him but then refuse to sell him. You go to Dortmund to get developed and then go to a bigger club. And that is what the player from Dortmund is ready to do. So, look, we pay the money, we get the player. It's so hard, it just slipped out, says Goldbridge, says James Christa. I'm really disappointed, but I did very well. Anyway, we're back at 8 o'clock tonight. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. Remember, you stand with Martial, but you can get you United Stand t-shirts like this. They're below on the YouTube videos now. Just click the link, it will take you through. We do ship worldwide. And if you want to get on the Fantasy Premier League, United Stand Fantasy Premier League, I'm in there. You can play against us. You've got to get in there before 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, haven't you? But the link is in the video description for that if you play Fantasy Premier League, or if you've never played it before, maybe give it a go. But thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you at 8 o'clock. And I can't believe I bloody missed it. It's bloody missed it.